Nexus is an EU-funded project striving to make inclusivity a reality in the world of research and innovation. The project focuses on developing inclusive gender equality plans that span both in intersectional and intersectoral dimensions in 9 universities and in research organizations across Europe.
Hello, everybody. In today's episode, we have a very interesting guest. So please.
My name is Tatiana Kmetova. I'm a founding member and executive director of the Center of Women's Studies and Policies Foundation in Sofia, Bulgaria, where I work as a gender expert, researcher, and trainer. I'm anthropologist by profession and activist in various non-governmental organizations in Bulgaria since 1991.
Thank you so much. My name is Albena. I work for Sofia University, and the university is partner in the Nexus project. Could you please share the primary goal of the Center for Women's Studies and Policies and how they align with the broader objectives of gender equality in academia?
The Center of Women's Studies and Policies actually has about 30 years experience of work in the field of women's and gender issues. We succeeded to organizational structures which existed in late 90s, the Women's Program of the Open Society Foundation, Sofia, and the Networks Women's Program of the Open Society Institute, New York, which operated in Central, Eastern, and Southeastern Europe, Central Asia, Mongolia, and Turkey. So you see that actually we gained a lot of experience of work at national and international level. At that period, we were the main and the most significant donor in Bulgaria, which followed a systematic approach towards bringing forward and seeking solutions mainly to women's problems. And more than 150 projects of Bulgarian NGOs in the field of women's unemployment, inequality on labor market, violence against women, including domestic violence and trafficking in women, equal participation of women in political and social life, and so on, were funded in that period. So because of these successful mechanisms for coordination, information exchange, and networking in addressing women's issues in Bulgaria and abroad, and because we developed a significant capacity in providing expertise on gender equality issues, it allows us to be spun off into an independent NGO. And as an independent NGO, we are registered as a foundation according to the Bulgarian law in 2003. Since then, of course, many things happened, and we continue and enhance the work on women's gender and equal opportunities issues. Sometimes in the previous areas, sometimes focusing on new problems and projects which exist. So, as I said, we are focused on information sharing, research and training, capacity development. So in our last years, let's say, of existence, we are more focused on work with educational institutions and mainly with young people in their teenage years and further.
Thank you so much. This is very interesting. What initiatives or project has the center led that focused on promoting gender equality in Bulgarian institutions?
Soon after the establishment of this new independent NGO, the center became a partner of the Ministry of Labor and Social Policy as an executive body entrusted with the implementation of gender equality policy in Bulgaria. Consultative bodies were established between NGOs, the executive, trade unions, and academia to discuss and propose measures to improve the situation of women and the level equality of gender equality in all spheres of public life. So we also provide expertise in pushing the development of this policy and its institutions. For example, we worked actively on the elaboration of the national legislation in the field. We participated in various working groups on creating legislative pieces or amending regulations in this area. For example, the law inequality between women and men, the law on prevention of domestic violence, and so on. We also actively participated in the elaboration of the national strategic documents in the film, for example, the National Strategy on Gender Equality. The first one was elaborated in 2005. So since then, we also participate in reviews how these national strategic documents are implemented. For example, we also elaborated the consolidated 4th to 7th periodic report on Bulgaria pertaining to the performance of obligation of Republic of Bulgaria on the UN Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination against Women. Another field we were very active and, well, let's say are still active, is the field of building capacity on equality policies. In this field, we actually had a lot of experience working with the state institution, conducting trainings for civil servants in the central and local executive authorities, trade unions, NGOs, other partners and stakeholders of the government in this policy. Thus, we were authors or participated in the elaboration of training materials for these target groups, including, for example, a glossary of terms on equality between women and men and gender equality, which the ministry is still using. Another area of our activities were to promote gender mainstreaming approach in public policies and programs. And in this field, we also put a lot of efforts to build the capacity of local decision makers to apply and monitor gender mainstreaming in various, mainly social sectors. Or, for example, in the elaboration and training on practical directions for application of the CEDAW, the Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Violence, of Discrimination Against Women. We work even in nowadays very actively in the consultative work with the state institutions on elaboration and implementation of gender equality policy. For example, we were among founders and active participants of the National Council on Gender Equality to the government since its establishment in 2004. In recent years, as in our capacity as individual experts, we continue our work with, for example, Economic and Social Council of the Republic of Bulgaria, or with various ministries like Ministry of Education, for example.
Thank you very much. How does the center collaborate with universities like Sofia University to address gender issues in research and academia?
Well, from the very beginning of our organization, we know that the major deficit of our work is lack of knowledge, lack of information, and authority to some extent. When you don't have reasonable and relevant data and facts in hand, you are not able to convince broaden public that the problem you are focused on exists. So, by the way, from the very beginning, we tried to work with people from academia. One of our founding members is a high level, let's say, lecturer and researcher in the field of legislation. Three of our board members are full professors in Sofia University in political science, in the University of World Economy in economics and international relations, and in Bulgarian Academy of Sciences in the field of ethnology and anthropology. All these people are very important for us as based on their capacity and knowledge. We rely on their capacity and knowledge. And as I said, as information, knowledge, data, facts are very important for us. We started from the very beginning to involve people from academia for different researches, which we funded, published, and promote among our stakeholders. So we worked very actively with the people from Sofia University, for example, with lecturers at the Gender Studies program, which developed differently during the years, but however, the main lecturers are there, with some researchers from the Bulgarian Academy of Sciences in the field of economics, statistics, public health, and so on. And in our previous years of activities, we published among 10 books elaborated by different academic researchers in these fields which I mentioned. So we distributed these books among NGOs, other stakeholders, state institutions, and there is a big success of this approach, I would say. We also used to work closely with the Bulgarian Association of University Women, with other associations of university and academic professionals. I would say that this work was very important for us because it really provides reasonable and reliable knowledge, and also makes this connection between academic people and non-governmental sector really live and very productive for both sides.
What challenges do you see in implementing gender equality policies within academic institutions, and how can they be addressed?
I would say that the fact that academic institutions are focused on gender equality policies elaborated and implemented by themselves is a very important new step, let's say, because actually when I mentioned all these activities in academic field, which we had until recent years, we actually work with individuals, people who are personally interested in some specific issues, topics, historical periods, and so on. The fact that universities are engaged in this work to raise awareness, to develop policies at their academic level, at their institutional level on gender equality, for me is very important, and I think it is important also for those institutions. I think that organizing gender equality activities in academic institutions the main purpose of these activities is to create how to say sense of ownerships and belonging to the topic of gender equality, and developing knowledge, skills, experience, to develop self-confidence of people who work in academic institutions, but who also raise new generations of academic people, or people who gain upper level of education. To understand this topic, to develop capacity successfully to resolve emerging problems, conflicts, or inequalities based on gender. Because this capacity is not very high, or at least was not very high. So the major obstacles to the awareness of the topic and the transformation of the acquired capacity into routine and normative activity is the fact that very often we have only one-time projects in academia. And I think that the idea is to really to make it long-lasting policy and way of life, I would say. Because when you implement one particular project, for sure you make some changes in the life of the specific participants involved. But what is the impact on the next generation? This is the very important issue. What is also the impact of such projects on the capacity and the routine of work of the administration, for example? Or what is the impact on the decision-making processes in the academy? This is the big question. And this question should be in the focus of the academic institutions when they try to implement gender equality policies.
Thank you. What are the center's key strategies for engaging male allies in promoting gender equality?
Well, you see, many years ago, when we started all these activities, it was very important somehow to involve the major level of decision making in such projects, which usually were men, either directors or board of directors or any other ruling teams. This was a very hard challenge to achieve because even women at the highest level of decision making are not very open to work on topics of gender equality or to even to discuss it. These issues because somehow they accept this notion that if they are at the very high level of decision making, it is their own achievement, which is of course true, but also the problem is who is the veto player sometimes in the personal development or academic development or the administrative development of women at the highest levels of decision making in different layers of our public life. So the challenge to involve men and women at the highest level of decision making is very important issue. I think that it is quite difficult to achieve it. However, in recent years, for example, we work a lot with young men or I would say not very young men, but also male teenagers, using, and in this work we cooperate with different organizations, male organizations, active in the field of gender equality from Western Europe. And we are focused on the topic how boys can be engaged in care activities in their own life, but also caring for the others in general, because care is an important part of our lives. And very often in the public notion, it is connected only with women, but not with men. So changing attitudes of very young people and changing the notion of the society that caring about yourself and caring for the others is an important part of our personal development and our societal development is a thing we are focused on. And actually we implemented in last 6-7 years 3-4 very important projects for us, which are mainly focused on caring masculinities, which is a new topic for our society, I would say.
Thank you. How do you measure the impact of your gender-focused research and advocacy efforts?
Well, you see, this is the core of the issues we are trying to solve since the very beginning of our work. Of course, the fact that we are quite long time working in this field give us opportunity as organization to observe the real changes that has happened in this about 30 years period in which we had contributed a lot to raise awareness, to establish a ground for developing understanding about the issues, and especially in pushing young people to make sense what gender equality means and why do we need it and how to live in it. We can see now really that the most important what is most important, these young people today actively try to change the social notions, to live their lives in a tolerant, understanding, and supportive environment. And of course, they change the society a lot.
Thank you so much for this insightful and interesting conversation.
Thank
And
you for inviting me.
stay tuned for our next Nexus podcasts. Thank you.
Thank you too. Bye.